I was very fortunate. I had a team around me, okay? I had, and not everybody has this, okay? But I had a strength and conditioning coach that was there every day that made sure I did the things that I was supposed to. I had a nutritionist who made sure I had everything that I needed to have. And then upon that, we had a chef that my wife got to make certain things for me, so I had that. Okay, and then I had an advocate who was our head trainer. And so I went through this process, okay? And I had my two caregivers, my wife and my daughter. And every day we had this routine that we went through. And we went through this routine. Okay, I got 35 proton therapy treatments, 3 cycles of chemo. I rang the bell. And then as I've gone through this in the last few years of my recovery phase and getting my tests, first of all, every 3 months, then every 6 months, and then last year was one for the year. And then Lynn Christopoulos, who's my college roommate and probably one of my best friends, we started talking about this stuff, and he had a plan. See, I didn't know. You got to know Lynn. I know a lot of you guys know Lynn. You know Lynn's always thinking. And Lynn had this plan, and he started talking to me about Jen, about this extraordinary person that I had met, and she has this program called Cancer Champions, and they do this, they do this, they do this, and I started listening and everything. I said, and then all of a sudden I started getting excited about it, and I said, well, do they do this? And that was the work for the caregiver. He said, no. I said, oh, wow, that's something they need to do. Well, then Lynn has a conversation with Jen. They decide, they scheme something out. He drags my butt, up here to play golf, okay, under the guise of playing golf. But little I know was he had set up a meeting with Jen. So Jen comes over to his house for breakfast. We start having this conversation. And everything she does is everything I did. And I said, wow, but I've never heard of you guys. And she said, well, I said, Lynn, we're going to need to figure something out where we can get this out into the community, where we can introduce Jen to the community. Community, Jen, your community. And the reason I said that was because what I went through and the way I did it, the normal person doesn't get that. That's how fortunate I was. Okay, what I went through, I wish was available to my brother Mickey when he had his cancer. Okay? I wish he had the type of advocate that I had that knew the questions to ask, the right questions to ask. Okay, this is a service that's out there for you in this community, and that's what kind of drove me, and I'm getting passionate about it, Jen, because of that. But to understand that the things that I got to do, I was very fortunate. And I had said it that I would love to be an advocate. And so what happened was the proton, it's called NAPTA, the National Association of Proton Therapy Providers, called me and asked me to speak to Congress about them. Well, they said, well, we can do one better. We can actually put you in touch with the person that directs this for the president, Dr. Danielle Carnival. And so I spoke with her about what I had done and what I had gone through. So being an advocate for this has started to become a little more natural for me, Dell, and it's why we're here. Because I really do think that Cancer Champions is something that needs to be put out there so that folks know that there is somewhere they can turn to. And you can go through this with a team.